computer graphics that was very difficult to program line by line back in the day. Now you just do it with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So the level of effort, I think, is unique. But I think that the premise of two boys creating a Optimus female robot in their garage without Elon Musk knowing, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's the typical thing. You got your two nerds creating the girl of their dreams.
This is Technophile ReelTalk. Thank you to this episode's sponsor, Checkpoint Software.
Hey guys, we're back. It is introducing Technophile's ReelTalk. So we are a show that's all about reaction videos to how we see movies and TVs. What's the word I'm looking for?
Real-time response.
Real-time response. Yeah, you'd think I'd never done this before, you guys. We are reacting to how media portrays technology and in all aspects of it. And so being the geniuses that we are, the first thing that my friends said, yes, we're bringing the show back. Let's do weird science. So guess what, guys? I'm introducing Mike Madero and my good friend Chieng.
Hey.
Moi. I did say it right the first time. Damn it, Janet.
Yeah.
You think, you know what? I'm sorry, man.
It's
okay. So this is one movie. Okay. I just want to call it out. Chieng, you said first thing out of your mouth, weird science. We got to do this one.
Yeah.
Why did you pick weird science?
It was a situation where, I grew up as very much as a nerdy kid, and it was always so, the mission, as most nerdy kids are, is to find that really hot girl and talk to her. Well, it was just socially awkward as a nerdy kid that you go up to a girl and you say, you don't, your mouth and everything about you freezes and you look like a total dork. And so the whole weird science premise was the fact that, hey, we're using our brain power to, in essence, create a woman that we're attracted to. And so that to me was kind of an interesting concept, because guess what? Elon just released his Optimus. You never know.
Yeah.
$1 million.
And the real question is Optimus going to turn the little nerdy kid into someone who's actually pretty cool?
Yeah, exactly.
Drives around in a Ferrari and all that kind of fun stuff.
Exactly.
But okay, so let's think about let's set the tone of for those that maybe have not been around to know weird science, because Chieng, I think you said 1985 this movie was made.
1985, 80s movie, very much like any of the big blockbusters like Top Gun and Back to the Future. This was all the premise about how technology was changing society, and how two nerdy boys found a way to create the idolized sex idol for a teenage boy. And so as a teenage boy myself, I'm sure everybody, all the Gen Xers can appreciate this, is the fact that, hey, what if we could create a woman that would meet our every needs? And obviously that's the comical part of the movie.
And the fact that it wouldn't just be immediately turned off by us.
Yeah. And how sci-fi portrayed as a comedy. And it's very lighthearted. It's the whole point of just, answering some questions of puberty, of growing up, of a boy turning into a man, and understanding the weird dynamics between machine men and their emotional needs. Yeah.
So let's be very clear, guys. This movie, as is, would never be made today. Not in this format, I don't think.
You know what? I think there'd be a lot more, when they're answering the questions, what do you want in a woman? I think there'd be a lot more about the ChatGPT prompt engineering.
No, I
there'd definitely be some different angles.
Yeah,
about it.
I don't think. I think if the movie was made today, you'll actually probably see a kid on their device, right? Heads down the whole time, and not even interacting socially with other people. So that I think that would be kind of a thing. Or it could be a situation where it's more metaverse-ish. It's a virtual environment kind of thing. You put your holograms on and, you're self-induced. Or it could be kind of Star Trek-ish. You have the holodeck and, it's kind of a make-believe kind of thing. But because the 80s budget, I think from what I understand, there was a pretty big budget to doing some of these big scenes for the movie that it was. It's just the fact that they were using some computer graphics that was very difficult to program line by line back in the day. Now you just do it with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So the level of effort, I think, is unique, but I think that the premise of two boys creating a Optimus female robot in their garage without Elon Musk knowing, I don't know.
I mean, it's the typical thing. You got your two nerds creating the girl of their dreams.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, that's what they're That's what they're trying to do. And they have, and I don't know how much we want to expose here, but they have no idea what they're actually setting themselves up for.
And I think what's kind of interesting about this movie is kind of like, the girl is the genie, right? You get 3 wish. And it's almost a premise of, well, those 3 wishes is not always the outcome that the kids were expecting.
Right.
Exactly. Watch what you wish for,
Exactly.
right? And if I could just bring it back to like a business perspective, how many times have we wished like, oh, I wish X versus Y.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, like, how about this? I wish I had a different job. And then you go and get that different job and you're like, oh, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Absolutely.
Right. So,
those are requirements.
Right. Like, oh my goodness. I mean, it is the genie where you're like not, there is a meme that I was watching the other day that cracked me up where the guy like literally like went through like this logic path like a coder would and was kind of like testing the genie before he would ask his 3 questions. And he was doing really well and thinking it would be like a loophole. And then he screwed up and asked himself a question, but the genie took it as a question. And then he became a notebook or something like that. But anyway, all right, guys. So are we ready for the first clip?
Yes.
And let me, again, viewers, we have to understand the context and time. This was a movie made in the 80s. There's going to be certain depictions that I thought about editing out in general of like, oh, we're not going to go over it. But you know what? If we're going to get canceled because someone does a graphical like depiction of like anatomy of a female part, I mean, you're missing the humor and
it's wireframe, guys. It's by no means realistic. It's not even World of Warcraft.
I don't. You should have seen some of the. Okay, you're gonna see what we're gonna. Okay, like I did review the clips. I'm telling you right now, it is a little World of Warcraft in certain dimensions.
Maybe early.
All right. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. Cut.
Okay, look, you know how you're always talking about how you can simulate all that stuff on your computer? You know? What's the difference? Why can't we simulate a girl?
I don't know. I guess I could, but why? It's 2-dimensional on the screen. It's not flesh and blood, Gary.
Well, I know that, but you know we can use it.
Just like
we can ask
ChatGPT.
it questions.
Are we sure this is not Elon Musk?
Real life sexual situations and see how it reacts. Like, we're
I was just thinking that.
You'd love it. You'd love it.
Well, what about your girl in
Canadian girls?
Canada?
Oh, okay.
She was in Canada. These girls know more.
Apologies to all Canadians.
An old floppy drive. That's what's hilarious.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Floppy.
And here are those wireframe
That
graphics
is
here.
hilarious.
anything bigger than a handful, you're risking a sprain toe. You know, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Should we give her a brain?
perfect.
We'll play chess.
Okay. Now what?
Should we give her a brain?
Yeah, we can play chess with her.
Chess?
Boring dipshit.
Just give her a brain, okay?
Okay, that's about all we can do with my stuff.
I can't believe this shit.
This is
Oh, here we go.
the free internet, guys.
Hacking.
Did you get a
Your
free
300
toaster
baud
with this, too?
modem.
Gary, it's smarter than you, okay?
That's fixing all these
Problem is, it's
mainframes.
a lame idea,
Machine.
Yep.
okay?
Not a lame idea. The problem is your computer's a wimp and we need a lot more power than
Crypto.
that.
And notice
What
they
do
say
you suggest?
crypto, right?
What do you
Crypto
suggest?
snatcher.
Yeah.
And I love these little graphics.
I think most of those
As if that's
graphics
really
right
what
there.
it looks like back in the day. Yeah.
Like a video game, access
Yeah.
denied.
When all it was
That's
was a bunch of DOS prompts or something.
Okay, guys.
There you go.
I love this scene. I think it's probably the favorite scene of all the clips that we're going to see because there's so much to this. So who wants to start first? Who loved it?
Obviously, I, you know, it's one of the, even today, it's one of the recurring themes. You get a video game for the first time. What's the first thing you get to do? You know, what do you want your character to look like?
Yeah.
A male character? Do you want a female character? And then you start, you know, changing all the attributes, and they do let you change about every attribute that you can, right? So, I mean, that, you know, what I like about some of the old 80s movies is a lot of these things still, you know, are things, right? And, you know, one of the things that even my kid enjoyed when you get a new game and you're building your characters, one of the things he's you know, what are we going to make? Are we going to make him a, you know, this class, you know, what color the hair going to be? What color are we going to give him scars? We're going to do this. So it's still one of the more fun pieces of the game. Otherwise you just get a character that would spawn and that's it. You're done. And you go on with the game. Right.
Yeah. My comment is, when they ask, hey, do you want the woman to have a brain? That was a classic because it's like, well, you know, the local machine gave her a 5th grade IQ, and then they had to hack into some military mainframe system to make it smarter.
We'll just call it NORAD.
Yeah,
NORAD.
As if the U.S. military have that kind of capability of making machines smarter, and probably now, but that's what was so interesting about it, and the fact that they had to use an old school modem, and I remember those modems because the file transfer to, I think it was to download 1 megabyte was going to take half the day.
Oh my God.
You know, and being able to create that kind of a graphics and things like that was just obviously Hollywood trying to depict an engagement of trying to hack the system.
Those graphics probably cost the most.
Yeah, exactly. Back in the day. Yeah, absolutely.
I was just gonna say, wasn't it just the green dots at that point? I mean, it was still very much pixelated
all
back
the way.
then.
Yeah. So and then the old school tape drives that were spinning, you know. So that was quite interesting.
The other thing that cracked me up though, in the quote hacking scene, how everything lit up. I'm like, wait a second. Like again, this kind of reminded me of I think it was Sneakers or Hackers? I forgot what movie that we had done previously, but like, it was a TV show. The girl walks in the Black Widow episode of Criminal Minds, and like all of a sudden, like all the lights came on and flickered and all that. And I'm like, wait a second. Since when did the electricity go over IP? like I'm like, wait, did she take over the power grid and that did that last mile? And like, it was just really kind of funny that
you know, they're using smart home technology.
Yeah.
The lights and the sprinklers and the AC, everything's online now.
But okay, so let's talk about the truth of it. Like, what was, even for its time or truth today? Like for me, when he said, what is it? Did you get a toaster with this computer?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, reference for those that aren't familiar, back in the day, if we opened a checking account at a bank, they would give us like a free phone or a toaster and all that. Yeah. So that's what that reference was making fun of. But the fact that he said your computer's not strong enough to do this, and then he knew there was an outside resource that would be able to do it. That to me, very relevant.
Very relevant. Back in the 80s, I mean, that was kind of the beginnings of the internet anyway. I personally remember running a BBS, a computer bulletin board, sharing files and stuff like virtually, and was telling my mom that, oh yeah, you know, I was doing research at the library, right? And so, there's a reason why I have 4 phone lines coming into the house. But yeah, those are the good old days. Absolutely. Yeah. Never created a woman though. Maybe I should.
No. But I mean, that was the thing though, right? You would buy a, what would they call it? A bare bones PC.
Oh yeah.
Right. And it was just enough to get up and going and not do a whole lot else. And then you had to start upgrading it.
Well,
And,
I think that was the premise because you had the car guys that would buy the cars bare bones and they'll fix it up.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. You bought these bare bone computers and you souped it up with all the stuff you want to soup it up with. That was so cool because mine ran at 4 gigahertz and yours didn't. That was kind of the thing. Yeah.
oh yeah, I actually popped the 8080 chip out of my little thing and put a V20 chip in
Oh
there.
no,
So it
no,
could,
you get 0.5 more megahertz on it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it could run, not only could it run DOS, but it could run Z80 if I wanted to. CPM rather. It could run CPM because I had the Z80 instruction set as well as Z Intel. So there.
You guys are trying to out nerd each other. This is hilarious.
man,
Oh my
so
God.
awesome.
Anyone that's listening, could you out nerd with these two? Like these two?
So,
Tweedledee
right.
and Tweedledum over here? I'm
well,
kidding.
Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. No, yeah,
Okay.
Just be glad we didn't start getting into hey, well, which BBS software did you use?
oh yeah. Well,
We could if
Yeah,
you
let's
want to. No,
Maybe
no.
next time.
Next time. Yeah, you're my first show back. Please don't get me canceled already, please. What the hell is this show about? All right. Okay. So, I would love to get on to the next clip if you guys don't mind. Are you guys ready for the second?
We can.
All right. Okay. Pause. What is he chanting?
Nonsense.
By the way, why are we wearing bras
Why are we
on our
wearing
heads?
bras on our head?
Ceremonial.
And those bras are terrible.
they're not even
Just
Victoria's
as a female.
Secrets. Come on now.
It is pre. You're right.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
The oven and
The oven goes on.
the
The
rice
rice
cooker pop
cooker
open.
explodes. The fire alarm goes off. And then the Barbie gets electrified.
Yep.
Why? What's going on? I don't know. Well, unplug it, okay?
Oh, the music.
And this is what happens when you play with the government, kids.
This is the 80s. To me, this is so 80s.
so funny.
The 80s really was into silly humor.
Birthday present.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Did you see the sign on the door? I break for women.
we gotta get
Yeah.
this thing on.
No, I didn't see that.
Alright.
Here, this is all your fault. I just had to fix. Look, hit the light out. You get it out. I'll get it out.
I think that's the same house from 16 Candles, by the
I
way.
think you're right. And then the Barbie
might
disappears.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Oh.
See?
Oh.
I break for women.
Oh, that's too funny.
And the door bulging and
Oh, yeah. Let me go underneath the table. Like, that's going to help them.
oh no. It will be just stop, drop, and roll.
Oh,
Still one of the go-to, shelter-in-place moves. Get under your desk.
can I just tell you, as a teen, like preteen, this was like, I want to be her when I grow up. I'm just
I was
saying.
wanting to be that
Yeah.
kid in the room. Wow.
Ugh.
That was every boy's girlfriend for like the next 45 minutes. And the Casio watch.
Let's all be going marry Steven
So-
Seagal.
What would you little maniacs like to do first?
Wait a minute. She married Steven Seagal?
She did.
Did she?
Oh, that saddens me.
Yes.
I just love the fact that she had an English accent.
Yeah, well, that had,
Yeah, well,
she had that going for her.
I mean, but she married Steven Seagal, so that tells
She was
me.
in one of his movies.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was right around that time.
I mean, I'm sure he's a lovely man, but
He's not.
but
I think it's well documented that he is not.
Oh, golly gee whiz.
it was the
Okay.
80s, right? The
Hey,
80s. Who do you marry?
apologies,
Steven
Steven,
Seagal.
please don't come kick my butt if you see this video.
I mean, he's not a little man. He could crush all three of us all at once. And I mean,
sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So focus. So, I mean, obviously none of this is realistic, but at the same time, wow. Let's just talk about the cinematography. Okay. Because that's technology in itself, right? Is the technology that they had available at their time to how they portrayed things going wonky. Like they used simple camera tricks. And they also did some pre-CGI, whatever, like the lightning striking the house.
It'd be a while before the first full CGI special effects movie. What was that one? It was the
I don't remember, but it was it's just the simple things.
The one that kid that played a video game and then gets actually
Starfighter,
Last Starfighter.
Oh,
that was the premiere of CGI.
Yeah. That's when CGI really started to take off.
And so, the movie here obviously is portraying two boys wearing non-Victoria's Secret, bras.
I can tell you right now, the shape of those bras is like from the 50s. Okay, I don't think the women in the 80s were wearing bras like that.
Playtex? Was that a?
It wasn't even Playtex. Those were like unlined, like the worst. Like, I mean, they were like conical shaped, right? Like that was not popular in the 80s.
Well,
but they held the form for the ears, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that it's a Barbie, right? It's a Barbie on the table. The fact that you had all of the simple pyrotechnic stuff that's happening. The fact that there's camera tricks of the dog upside down. I mean, all these things are just trying to tell a story that, hey, this bizarre science thing just happened, and it broke the laws of physics for some reason. That's funny.
Reality has just been turned upside down.
Yeah.
But in that was a 3-minute clip that we just watched, right? Like, so it was so simple, but it advanced the experience so quickly, right? Like, and I think that's what's so neat about some older films. In fact, we're calling Weird Science an older film, but it's over 40 years old now, I think. Or almost 40. It's 39 years old, you guys. Theatrical release was 85, but it was filmed in the 84, which is 40. Oh my God, I just want to cry right now.
They weren't just cranking movies out in 6 to 9 months. No. Right? They actually had to put some time and effort into it.
Yeah, I mean, the choice in how they depicted, again, having her emerge from that bathroom, like that breathing door, which is, again, defying the laws of physics, which, again, when you think about how we use technology today, I'd imagine if...
Well, let's talk about how they unplugged the computer and it was still on.
Yeah.
And until they threw it out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
All hell was breaking loose.
I was kind of comparing this to kind of like the Mary Poppins.
Yes.
It's like Mary Poppins coming down the chimney kind of thing, or at the door. And, she's almost like the Weird Science is Mary Poppins in a way, because she did have that British accent, that English accent.
And Kelly LeBrock made that comment. She goes, I'm kind of playing a Mary Poppins character to these two boys.
It's so funny.
And
yeah. So it's almost like she knows that they're trying to sexualize her, but she's also at the same time owning her sexuality too. Now, granted, we're not in those scenes, and for those that want to watch the movie and can handle the 80s aesthete of humor, for sure, it is Mary Poppins meets 80s. I mean,
adolescent fantasy.
Exactly. And again, you guys, for those that are not familiar, the 80s was all about, which is an American thing, has a problem with human anatomy, but like, I don't think there was, I mean, this is like after Porky's came out, right? Yeah. So there's always like, a topless image of a female and male, whatever, running around in the 80s. That was a funny part.
Exactly. And it was done in a way to kind of it's a sexual tease in a way, but it's also the fact that you're drawing young men into the theater to watch a show and pay their $5 a ticket, which now is probably $15 it was $3. I remember back in the day. And then the $1 matinee. So you had that.
$2.
So yeah, exactly. So
get in before 5.
Exactly. Inflation has been like, 5x that now. So So these kids are coming in, watch the show, and they're going away entertained and seeing how technology is now turning Mary Poppins, meeting the 80s, with a bunch of MTV kids. That's
right. We were MTV kids. Okay, that's another really. And if you notice, like the use of music, I really love about Weird Science was. I mean, come on, Oingo Boingo. Come on.
Well, John Hughes did have some of the better soundtracks for all of his movies. Yeah. So I mean, he's well known.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well known to us.
No, I mean, so and this is sidebar. But if you ever read Ready Player One and then Ready Player Two, they go in. One of the puzzles they have to solve involves John Hughes films, and that's one of the movies they actually go into. They go grab one of the characters. I won't say which. One of the characters out of that movie to go fix. What's that movie? Pretty in Pink.
Okay.
Because that was not the original ending, and it wasn't the original scenario that was supposed to play out, but what they had to go do, and so they have to fix it, and so they get one of the characters from Weird Science to go fix.
So what?
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to review that.
So
you guys.
One of the things when the just real quick when the walls were ballooning up and open, did you guys catch the rock band Talking Head poster on that door?
I did not.
Yeah, go back. No. You go back and catch it because
okay.
What time index?
I think it was right when it says I break for women, and then the walls are.
I saw that.
Yeah, but then there's a poster of Talking Heads, the band, right next on the other side. So
okay, so full disclosure, before we started recording today, like I'm wearing a Talking Heads cover band, like a hoodie, and it's called Heart. Hey, shout out Heartburn out of Texas. You guys are amazing. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you might have to do some editing and go back and look at that scene. So there's the Talking Heads.
Oh, we're not editing this. This is like real time. Everyone needs to learn Talking Heads. They're one of the best bands, and David Byrne is like a crazy genius. I love him. I've always loved him.
Yeah.
Same as it ever was.
Oh yes, it's in the scene at about 1:53 or so. While the door is getting ready to burst open. There's your Talking Heads
poster.
You're too funny. Okay. Fine. I will do a slow motion in the background for you guys.
I've never been good at delayed gratification.
No, you are not. Speaking of delayed gratification, are you guys up for a third?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. All right. So I want to preface this one again. There is some imagery here that might be more along the lines of 80s aesthetics. This scene that I'm going to share with you guys is their second time around trying to create another Kelly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So there might be people wearing parachute pants.
Well, there's going to be scenes I'm going to edit. I'm telling you right now, everyone, you will see the edits. Okay.
All right.
So let's go ahead.
Back to the wireframe.
This had better work. This is just a blueprint.
Look at Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, now look. You like it? Bigger tits. Go. Give him the knee shooters. I don't care.
Give him the knee shooters.
Yeah, I love it. Good.
Excuse me, Arthur.
It's hard.
Excuse me, Arthur.
That's what's his name? That actor guy. You've seen him around.
Yeah, I love the sequence dress. It's so easy.
Yeah.
You know it's coming back. Just so you know.
I didn't know that.
It's coming back.
If you ever went to Neiman's, they never went away.
And then those dress had the big shoulder pads, right? You know?
Coming back.
I guess the 80s are coming back. Gotta love the dancing.
Where's Eddie?
I love the scene.
Nope.
Another invention.
It's got something to do with the robot.
Yep.
House parties were the thing back in the 80s, too.
Oh, yeah. House parties.
House parties. Trashing the house during the house party.
Underage drinking.
What do you do about a house party in a John Hughes film? Remember 16 Candles, the poor guy's house afterward? It was pizza on the
16 Candles.
turntable. So bad.
Yes.
And there goes the candle.
I'm just saying. Call on that scene right here.
Okay.
You know what's happening next.
I do. But this was a PG film.
We know what's happening next.
This was a PG film. Just saying.
This was the scene where every boy was recording while playing back.
Paused.
That's what's funny about it.
So I hear.
So you hear. Right? You don't know VCRs, like how good the VCR
Yeah.
was to pause it.
Slow
right?
it down. Do the slow-mo.
Right. She's still got her playtex on.
Not there.
So I thought there was a thing where when they threw her out like that, they didn't. Something about her stunt girl old didn't really want to do it, and so they ended up using the actual actress or something like that. So there's a line in there. There's something that happened there where the stunt double's like, I'm not jumping out of that from a chimney into the pool. Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, right.
You had to be big shots, didn't you? You had to show off. When are you going to learn people like you for what you are, not for
Right.
what you can give them?
Like the social truths in these movies.
In your race for power and glory,
And
You
the
forgot
one thing you
one.
forgot to do.
small detail.
We forgot to hook up the doll.
You forgot to hook up.
Oh, this is like, you guys, so true. This is my favorite scene of the entire, like, honestly, this is
Well,
like,
I think this was the
Yeah.
scene that cost the most money.
No,
this is what broke the budget
Yeah,
right here.
no symbolism here.
Legit, right? Look at her face. I love her.
You gotta love the birth.
No symbolism there.
exactly.
Okay, I had to play that one. Okay, so like you said, bit of Mary Poppins moment there, didn't she?
Good.
Mary Poppins.
People like you for who you are, even if you're a nerd.
And did okay? Oh, I know there's not a lot of technology in it, but Revenge of the Nerds is a good one because
we can find some.
There's
some.
like 3 of them now, right? 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, there's a ton of them.
there's only the original, guys.
Oh, okay.
There's only the original, and like I said, like for Star Wars has only 3 movies. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll buy
let
that.
us be clear.
I'll buy that.
Let us be clear. Okay, so yes, we know that particular scene. Okay, so let me just rephrase this. I think it's really interesting about this particular scene is how in the 80s they just like something's funny happening, but let's just keep partying in the party house.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy is that if it was done now, everybody just pull out their phone and start recording, broadcasting live on Facebook or whatever.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the
One
social,
for cover? No, I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, the social dynamics here is like, oh yeah, did you see so and so at the school this past weekend? Oh yeah, and that was it. You know, when we were in school, but now it's like, oh, we're gonna record the whole thing, show all the social media, what's going down. It's like, no, that's why our lives doesn't have a whole lot of the craziness, even though we knew crazy thing went on. We just prefer not to share it to the whole world.
What if I challenge you on this?
Oh, okay.
All right, Jim.
Okay.
Ready? What if our phones don't work during these segments? Because remember, it's all electrical power and like things were shutting on and off. So even like if this movie was filmed today, there'd be everyone's phones up, but nothing happened. And I could see a scene where a girl panics or a guy panics and goes, "Where's my Instagram feed?" So, like, I'm not making $1 million on this feed. Where's it? I could hear that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Ooh.
Or it would be even better, like, because you'd record that whole thing, and then the problem would be on uploads, like, no internet.
Yeah, the internet's down. Oh
It's
no!
gone.
Right?
I can't save. I just lost it.
Okay, so what does that mean about us and our dependency on the internet then?
Our technology in general, right?
My son's downstairs watching YouTube right now. I mean, he should be outside playing. So, and he's 4. So,
and that's why we have screen time.
Yeah, that's why there's screen time and outside time. And I think, like you said, would this movie I think if we were to make this movie the way it is today to the audience for today, using 80s mentality, I don't think it will be a bust. Just because the kids, the audience wouldn't be able to connect with it because they're like, why is somebody wanting to clone a robot? Or
right, and there's a lot of context that's here that's not. It's just not the kids don't have today, right? So I think your suggestion that it may be different with maybe VR goggles or some other kind of metaverse setting.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, you would definitely have to do something to, give them a similar context as to what is going on here. But I mean, the parts in the middle when they're in the mall, and the guys are teasing them. Well, it's different now, right? Instead of getting drinks poured on your head from the second floor, well, now that's going on social media. Did you see what they just posted of us?
Oh yeah, so,
They photoshopped me on this,
they deep faked me.
Exactly,
right.
And so
I can see that. Ooh.
So I mean, I think the movie could be made, and it wouldn't take a whole lot to tweak this and that. You're still going to have situations where you have 2 adolescent boys that are trying to figure out, how do I leverage
cool?
How do I leverage what I got to get some of what the cool kids have, right? And
it could be by the way, it could be adolescent anything at this point because there's such an openness, I think, in the Gen Alpha Z world of I could see there's certain jokes. I could see the banter actually going back and forth of calling each other out on their, on the design of said being, that sentient being that they're trying to create. I think it'd be really, what a great, okay. Hey, Hollywood, don't worry about it. Just remember Syya. We'll make this happen.
Yeah.
But okay. So guys, we could keep talking about this all day long. So yay or nay, this movie could resonate and can be duplicated, not perfectly 100%, but at least modernized to the stage. On a scale of 1 to 10, do you think that Hollywood remake this movie? So, Mike, you first.
I think 100%. I think a little tweak here, a little, tweak there, and you give it some modern concepts. There are certain things that are eternal, if you will, as far as the teenage angst and being accepted, being cool, and all that stuff. And then everything else is just there are still the schoolyard bullies. There's still the how do you get the confidence to go do what you need to do? There's still the oppressive parents and things like that. So all those things still exist. It's just how are you going to change some of the other environmental context to make it make sense to what kids are dealing with today?
I would say for me it would be tough because there's such a massive cultural dynamics now. Because as a former DJ myself, the music that I play 15 years ago would never get the kids on the dance floor today. And because for various different reasons, but at the same time, when you're taking something of this context, and the reason I think this movie was such a big hit was that the American culture was kind of the go-to for other countries to follow too, right? Mm-hmm. So if you were to make this movie now and you're trying to sell the tickets in Europe, I don't think it's going to resonate well because there's a whole underlying subculture that local cultures would take precedence over this. Now, the theme about being 2 adolescent boys trying to be cool, trying to fit in, the hot Mary Poppins that comes along to help them out to be cool. I think that will resonate in some places, but in some cultures, it's kind of like, eh.
What if you made it a C drama? And then or a K drama or whatever, and had some J-pop music or K-pop music or whatever.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Now,
just play some BTS, whatever, like whatever K-pop, and like it'll like actually. But I'm going to challenge you, Chin. Our music, you guys, is popular back on TikTok. Like I don't know how I got onto the stream, but like Modern Talking, which is like to me like it's new wave, but I always thought it was like Asian people like music, but apparently it was Europop back in the day. They're playing it. Think about Stranger Things, right? They just repopularized Running Up the Hill by Kate Bush, right? Like there's a lot of our music that's coming back. I think I'm going to argue. And again, anyone want to invest in my movie? Hollywood? Anyone? Producers? Anyone? We could do Weird Science in a way where it's modernized, but just enough to amuse us because we're Gen X parents. So we don't, it's not going to be, I don't think it needs to be a direct, like play for play. Like, I mean, I think you do need a chat. I think you do need a chat. Okay. We have to have a chat.
Yeah,
okay.
You do have to have the oppressive older brother.
But would we want bikers running through the house party? Right? Like, I don't know. I kind of maybe I would have done a different scene. I would maybe don't necessarily do the bikers, but maybe something similar along that lines. I don't know. Let's talk about Hollywood.
What if we go back, right? And she's the woman that plays the Barbie doll. She never aged,
Kelly,
right?
Oh yeah,
but the two guys did, and now their kids are not cool.
Ah, there you go.
So it's almost like kind of a Back to the Future kind of concept, you know.
And then they come out like, "Hey, what are you doing here? What are you going to do?" Like, never mind. And then she puts them in the closet.
Yeah.
until she's done.
You guys, I think we have a multi-billion-dollar like franchise capable without. Here's what I don't like. I'm all about like Hollywood being more creative, but I would not cry if they did a Weird Science that was smart, witty, and had that bite that Weird Science originally had. The problem I have with Hollywood today is that they think, oh, that's a formula that we're just going to regurgitate and we're just going to superimpose this next hot thing, girl, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some creativity to it. So would I go see Weird Science? Okay, fine. If we remake it, would you go see it with the current Hollywood, Marvelization of everything and all that good stuff? Would you see a Weird Science 2.0 on the current conditions that we're seeing Hollywood produce?
I think it would take some really unique talent.
It'd have to be really
but the thing is that what sold this was the storyline. It wasn't all the flashy computer graphics and the pyrotechnic. It was the fact that the audience, me, when I was watching this as a kid, I could connect with those boys because I was one of them. And we would sit around and mess around with our computers to try and figure out how to create a 2D Playboy bunny model on my computer. Obviously that and after watching this show, I can guarantee you there's probably
64.
a million adolescent boys trying to figure out how to create their own 3D model, right? And so I think there was a correlation between this movie and the actual buying of computers.
That is true.
So
I think Commodore 64 saw a boost in sales because that was clearly what they were using.
Yeah.
Whatever motivation for you kids to get into technology, computer, science, etc. Don't care. Whatever motivates you, man. Let's get you to success. Okay, so guys, if we were to wrap this up, then would in its current iteration, if you haven't already, how old would your child be before you watch that movie with them?
Boy or girl? Or does it matter?
Either.
I mean, it's your choice to indicate it, but
13, 14, I think is appropriate. Because that's when the body's 14, changing. 15. That's when the hormones are. That's when you start to look at the other person. You're like, oh, I'm attracted to you, or there's a physical connection. Like my 4-year-old right now, he plays with dirt.
Yeah.
I'd really question if you show this to a 4-year-old.
Well, I did try to get my son when he was like 2 or 3 to watch the first Star Wars movie. And
Okay, but there's a difference
My
in
wife
Star
told me,
Wars
man.
and Weird Science.
yeah. The bad guy is a lot heavier in Star Wars for sure.
Have you seen that? There's another like a short video that had I think it's a retriever watching Star Wars, and you could see like that dog recognized that Darth Vader was not a good good guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, I digress. So you didn't answer the question, Mike.
Didn't.
They still haven't seen it?
What? Weird Science?
Weird Science. Yeah, how old would you introduce it to your kids?
He's only 10. He can't watch this yet.
Maybe he's still 10. That's right. I always think they're
maybe
older.
14, 15.
Okay.
14, 15.
Awesome, guys.
Yeah.
So we've gone way hella long, and I really appreciate your time. So I'm so glad you two are the ones to re-kick this back off. I really love this show. I love the concept around it, and I also want to say thank you so very much. That's the last time I'm going to love you like a love song, babies. After that, it's going to be like,
awesome.
You're out of here.
Awesome.
All right.
So, hey, salute everyone,
Salute.
and may you all enjoy the movies as much as we have, and then of course in this day and age, we're the Technophile Real Talk, folks. Deuces.
See ya.
Take care.